that, Kevin Evans, is how you lose 94,310 coins in two hands of poker. Good morning, everybody. I am Jeff Blankenburg. We are here as usual on a Monday, and it is so good to be back. I have to say, I didn't realize just how much I enjoyed streaming until I couldn't. And this whole week I spent thinking about what we could do on the stream and what fun we have on here and the conversations we enjoy. I hope you guys enjoyed some of the videos that I had posted during the week. Those were a lot of fun to work with a bunch of cool people to get put together. And I'd love to know your thoughts, maybe which one was your favorite. But we posted a bunch of videos during this week. I found a cool service called onestream.live that will basically take a recording and post it and stream it for you automatically. So I use that to push all the videos up and do all that stuff. But I will tell you, I was really planning on playing along with the whole kidnap thing. And in fact, as recently as this morning, my hair was a disaster. I had most of a beard growing in again. I looked terrible. And I thought it might be a good way to come on stream and just kind of stumble in and be like, oh, man. But, like, I have meetings and stuff today. It's right back into the fray. And so I start today with a new manager at Amazon. So that will be good and interesting and fun. So lots and lots to jump right back into as I start my August here. So anyway, thank you for the welcome back. I'm glad that Locked In was able to enjoy some slots again. Stream for Charities is here. Kevin Evans is here and has lost a fortune already this morning. But I'm glad that you guys are here. And when we left last Wednesday, my gosh, it's been so long. When I left last Wednesday, we were working on our Alexa skill that is a casino. And you guys are obviously playing a lot of that right here in the chat. But as we continue to dive in and go and play with this, I want to make sure that I'm building it the right way. And so that's something that I'm going to continue to focus on as we get into this is what is the right way? What are the things from a voice perspective that I should really be thinking about? The 8-ball hates Kevin Evans this morning. It's not going to be good. Anyway, so that's kind of what's going on today. I also have a couple of new additions here behind me. This is the toucan mascot from Comic-Con. You can see his little flag right there. Let me get my face out of the way. He's pretty awesome. So that just arrived. And we have Captain Marvel. I think I showed this in the box maybe the last time we were here. Is there anything else that's new on the shelf that I haven't talked about? I don't think so. I mean, I had a couple new ones show up while I was on vacation. So there's some things going on here. One of the ones that I'm actually really excited about, I'll show you this one. So normally at Comic-Cons, especially San Diego Comic-Con, which was supposed to be last week, Stream for Charities, is this show sponsored? This show is not sponsored, but it probably should be. During Comic-Con, they come out with a bunch of unique, interesting ones that are far rarer than normal ones, and you can only get them at the cons, but because of the way that COVID has taken over our world, they decided that they would just sell them, but most of them were gone almost instantly, but I got a couple of them. I actually had to order them at the exact same time that I was on the show The Voice Den, which happened last Wednesday night. And so I had to go through, and as I was like talking to people and live chatting on that, I was also ordering. And so I got this one. I don't know how much you guys appreciate the movie Anchorman, but this is a character named Brian Fantana, and he has a line. If I can get my face off the screen, it will do that. And he has what he calls a cologne called, what was it called? Panther, something Panther. I'm forgetting the name of it. Anyway, I can't remember the name of it. Anyway, you can notice that this one is actually scented. and it really is scented. It smells like a terrible cologne inside, and it's because of that. And the line that I really enjoyed from the line that I really enjoyed from the movie is that he says, somebody asked him if it really helps him, like Sex Panther, that's what it was. Somebody asked him if it really helps him get the ladies, and he goes, 60% of the time, it works every time. And I just thought that was absolutely hilarious. So, anyway, that's what's going on there. Oxygen Box asked if I saw the Baby Yoda holder for the Echo Dot. I absolutely did. And it is very tempting to get, but I have not ordered one. But yes, I have seen. It's really flat. It treats the Echo Dot as if it is the Baby Yoda head, and then it's a case and it has like the big ears that stick out. It's fantastic. I love creativity like that. I think that's just absolutely great. The newest Around the World one, Kevin, did arrive. I think that's the Japan one. I think it's this one. My face is always in the way. Come on, focus. There we go. So that's the one from Japan. But yeah, we're still rolling here. I actually, this will probably not surprise any of you, but I've run out of shelf space in this room. And so one of the things that I'm going to do maybe tonight is make a run over to IKEA. I have another space here in this room, and we're planning on remodeling our basement. I think some of them will move down there. But, man, it is too much. I also discovered, I ordered a while ago an Iron Man figure, because I'm a big fan of Iron Man. And I didn't realize at the time that I was buying the first one of a set of 6. Maybe I can just show you this. We'll jump into some browser time first. Anyways, there's this series called Assemble. Let's see if I can find a good picture of it. And then we'll get into some real content for you guys today. So what it's supposed to look like, if you guys have seen, so this is the Iron Man that I have. You can see he's got like all this smoke and he's kind of up on flames there. And I just bought it because I thought it was kind of cool. Like he's kind of elevated and it kind of looks like Iron Man doing his thing. But what I didn't realize when I bought that first one was that they are designed to do this, where they all fit together. And if you guys can recall that iconic scene from the original Avengers movie, this is kind of where the camera kind of pans around all 6 of them: Iron Man, Hulk, Hawkeye, Thor, Captain America, and Black Widow. And I didn't realize that I was buying the first one of those. And so that has prompted me then to complete the set because reasons. Okay, so let's get into some coding because we have lots and lots of things to think about today. And the first thing that I wanted to check is that I honestly don't remember at all what we were doing or where we were. We've kind of stepped away for a little bit. So I have the Chatsino open here. I'm going to say bet 5 on poker. Is it working? Does that part work?
You
Yeah.
won 5 coins in poker with a pair. Your new balance is 269 coins. Your cards were the 10 of diamonds, 10 of hearts, 5 of clubs, 3 of hearts, and 2 of hearts. What do you want to play next?
Okay, so poker is still working. I think that's good. I think the next one that I want to do is probably slots, and I think we probably worked on that too, right? Bet 5 on slots. Did we get that working?
You lost 5 coins in slots.
Oh my gosh.
Your new balance is 265 coins. Your spin was gemstone, bell, tangerine. What do you want to play next?
Gemstone. Okay, so I got a very good question from Locked In. Do we have a house balance? Are they up or down? Let's take a look. I do kind of have that. I don't have it in an official way where like you can just check the house balance, but I do have it calculated in a table here. So if I come into this and I go to Ledger, this shows me every bet up and down and it looks like I'm down almost 1,000,000 coins because I'm summing these together. So like when you give money to someone else, there's a record for them getting 1,000 and you getting a record for giving 1,000, and so those don't count. They basically blot each other out. But when you have somebody win 5,000 on slots, that's where the big balance comes from. And so there's 1,700 records in here, and I know that there's been a few people that have won a bunch, like this one for 40,000 right here. So who was this user? W. Giorgio. Not surprising. So like that 40,000 is just a win in slots, right? So it doesn't it contributes to this total. But so far the casino is down about 967,000 coins, which is not a good way to run a casino. So that's the answer to your question, Locked In. Thanks for that. Okay, let's see. I want to get back to here. And I think one of the key things that we really need to focus on is providing a really good experience, right? So one of the things that I really need to think about is, how do I teach people how to use this? How do they understand how it works? And then some of the other things that we really need to pay attention to are, how do we make this a unified experience? I know we've talked about this a little bit in the previous sessions, but how do I get you to link your accounts? I'm starting to lean towards maybe just setting up my own OAuth, which I don't love, but I think that's probably the right thing to do. Kevin Evans won again. My goodness. It's unheard of, 2 in a row. Okay. So, I didn't realize that we had finished. Well, we haven't really finished. Let's open up our to-do list. We've got some things that I've already seen. So, the first one that I see is Alexa pronounces the diamond shape emoji as gemstone. Probably don't want that. I also need to fix the Alexa pronounces the orange.
Counting Crows from Jeff's Apple Music.
Alexa, stop. Alexa, stop. I don't remember asking for Counting Crows, but ooh, I like. See, these are the things that I need from you guys. Locked In. That's fantastic. So let's do this. General features. Offer tips and statistics like 63% of users typically bet 40 or more coins on this. That's a great one. Karthik, good morning, or good evening to you, but good morning from me. We're putting together a little list of things we need to work on as Tangerine. Those seem like easy things to fix. So maybe we could just dive into those right now, just because they're things that we're observing. We also want to be able to add. We have poker and slots. The last one is roulette. This one's going to be a little harder, only because. Good morning, Jeff Nunn. Yeah, the kidnappers did not take too much, but man, I had a lot of fun putting those videos together with those folks. It was really hard to keep it a secret too. I don't think I ever mentioned to you guys that I was doing that. But I hope you guys enjoyed the videos that were posted all last week. That was a lot of fun to play with. Betting single colors earns you 13% less than betting on numbers. Try betting on a number. Yeah, I locked in. I think you've got some. I think you've got some ideas here. So with roulette, though, there's some things that we're not doing very well right now, and that is, if we look at our skill package and we look at our interaction model, we for our start game intent, we have things like place. So bet 5 on red. Bet 5 on red. And if you say bet 5 on red, I can probably infer. Locked in. Yeah, there's a 00 in roulette now. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure. Pretty sure. I think I can do roulette 10-00. Yeah. 00 is now an available wager. Wait, I missed a story. Let's talk about trade last in the office. What's the story that I missed? I need to know. I need to be in the know. So locked in. 00 is working, by the way. Oh, wow. That's amazing, Trey Last. Slapping some likes on things there. That's amazing. What a cool story. Okay, so what I need to figure out here is, how do I actually get people to bet on roulette? Because again, when we're doing it with chat, it's real easy, right? I have a roulette command. But when they're speaking, and I think this stuff already works. Let's see if I just say play slots. What does it do?
How much are you betting?
Yeah. See, so this is some dialogue management stuff. And if I say 10,
You lost 10 coins in slots.
awesome. So
Your new balance is 256 coins. Your spin was grapes, bell, tangerine. What do you want to play next?
So in that case, you can see that I'm using dialogue management actually to be able to say, oh, they just said play slots. And so the trick with this is that if they say play roulette, I'm gonna have to kick them back and say, how do we want to do this? Well, I'm not building roulette yet. Let's not worry about it. But that's something that we're gonna have to think about, I think, as we get into this. Is how do we assure that we have and a position? I'd really like to use the same intent, but it feels like maybe I won't be able to. But we'll see. Okay, so let's look at these two first, the diamond and the gemstone. So the way that these come back, I think that I have this helper function. And no, it's not in there. Let's dig in, because this will help me remind myself what the code looks like too. So the first thing that we do is we have our start game intent. There's only a little bit of logic in here, really. It's a lot of code, but there's not really a lot of logic in here. So we come in, we get the wager and the game that they want to play. If we've resolved a game name, then if it's poker, I don't care about that. We want to work at slots right now. So I call chatsino.slots.play, and I get my outcome. And then in here, I say get slot speech. And this is where I actually say, yeah, locked in, it's tempting to force them into a bet, but I don't necessarily want to, like, that feels less cool. Because voice already feels like you don't have a lot of control, so I don't want to overwhelm them with lack of control. I feel like what I should probably do is prompt them and say, hey, you have a choice to make. So we have this get slot speech. And what I need to do is say, if spin result I equals that diamond emoji, which I will have to grab someplace. Okay, so if it equals the diamond emoji, so let's go look at our Chatsino into the slots part, and we have a symbols. Do we have symbols? Just a reals? Okay. We'll take this diamond, and we'll come over here to helper, and we will say if it equals this, then speech equals diamond. Oh my gosh, W. Giorgio, you're well on your way to 1 million, man. That's amazing. Else if no spin result. God, it's like I forgot how to code. I was gone on the beach for a week, and I've forgotten how to write all code. And this still needs to be plus equals, or I will blow everything up. Orange, and then this needs to be else. So I think, what don't you like about that? If, this right here. Okay, and then I gotta go get that orange, that tangerine, if you will, and we need to drop that right here. Else if, so we want to put a space after each one of these, okay. So if we do that, she should now say the right thing, right? So if I say bet 5 on slots.
You lost 5 coins in slots. Your new balance is 252 coins. Your spin was orange, cherries, orange. What do you want to play next?
Awesome. So it's not as pretty in the chat, but that's okay. Actually, I think we can make that happen. I think that there's let's do this. SSML reference. Have you guys done this before? I don't know if you've done this or seen this. This is a kind of a funky way to play with is it the phoneme? Can I do it that way? I think I can do it this way. No, there's a... cardinal fraction unit. There's a way where I can... yeah, like this. Let's see if I can do this. So now this is going to equal this. with a space after it. And we're going to take our diamond and we're going to put that in here. I don't even know that I need to do this, but it feels kind of cool that I could. So I'm going to say diamond, like that. And then we'll do the same thing for orange. Okay. Let's see what that gets us. I think this will allow me to say the word properly, but actually deliver the right symbol.
You
Yeah.
lost 5 coins in slots. Your new balance is 248 coins. Your spin was orange, bell, orange. What do you want to play next?
Awesome. So there's a little fun tip for everybody if you haven't done this before. Sometimes you have some speech or a word or maybe an abbreviation in your text because it isn't something that you wrote just specifically for your skill, and you want to be able to replace it and have it say something else. Instead of saying AL for aluminum, as the example showed, you could have it say aluminum just by wrapping it in that little tag that we just added here. So this sub-alias allows me to say, hey, I want you to say this word when this symbol is shown. That's a pretty cool hack for that. And then it allows me to still see the things that I want to see in the speech. So if you guys haven't used that before, I highly recommend using the sub-alias because that is exactly what I just did there, and it worked out nicely. So what I really should do, and I think I got rid of this, but let's take a look. If I look at cashier, no, I mean I used to have a thing here that was called symbols, and it basically defined each symbol, and then I could potentially give it a name that was this. Oh, do we get sounds? Well, I still haven't found any sounds. We'll have to find some. Trade last, I would guess probably not. How would you do that? No, I think they're separate. Because with a phoneme, what you put, so let's go back to here. This is sub-alias, so this says say aluminum when you see AL right here. But for a phoneme, what you're doing is saying it's really the same concept, right? When I want you to show this word, but I want you to pronounce it this way. So I think they're very, very similar in what they do. So I don't know that you necessarily need to use them in combination. I think if you want to alias aluminum with a different pronunciation of aluminum, like aluminium, I think in that case you would just have the AL where the word pecan is, and then where the phonetic spelling is, you would have the aluminium phonetic spelling. I think that's the way you'd have to do it. If you have phonetic concerns, you have to use the phoneme. And if you don't have phonetic concerns, then you could use the sub-alias. I think that's the way that I would approach that. We'll have to clip this out. This is something else that I'm going to start now that we're in August. I don't think I have the time to go re-watch the whole stream, but when there's useful little nuggets like this that come out, I want to go back in and clip them and then share them on other social media and YouTube and certainly here on Twitch. So, got it. So you could show a picture of a pecan and use the phoneme rather than the sub-alias. Yeah, I think whatever's here doesn't matter. Now, I don't know if you could show a picture per se, but if you had an emoji, something that registers in a UTC library, I think you could do that. But I don't think that you could take like a photo and drop that there. Yeah, as long as you mean emoji, yeah, that's perfect. I think you could do that. We could try that just to verify. If I take this, we'll jump over to my code. And in here, we'll just take this out for a second. So this becomes IPA. And then phonetically, we're going to still have it say pecan, just because I don't want to make another phonetic sound. And then I should be able to put this here. And I would think this would probably work the same way. So let's see. Play Pet 5 on slots.
You lost 5 coins in slots. Your new balance is 244 coins. Your spin was grapes, cherries, pecan. What do you want to play next?
There you go. So yeah, that'll work great, Trade Last. That's a great question. I'm going to go back to the sub-alias, though. I think that's kind of a cleaner look for what I'm trying to do. But I think, like I said, I think they're pretty interchangeable in that regard. But there we go. Okay, so I fixed that. So let's go to our to-do list. And those are done. Locked In is asking me if I want specific sound effects. Let's take a look at what you're saying to me. I mean, that one could work, but I wonder if like, do you have a license or something for these Locked In? Because I think I have Adobe sound effects that I can use too. I haven't spent the time to go look and find them. Jeff Nunn lost 25,000 coins. That's painful. What was the other sound effect you gave me? The thing that I want, honestly, and this is the thing that's holding me back, Locked In, is I want really clean sound effects. A lot of the casino slot machines or casino sound effects you see they have a lot of background noise to them, and I don't really want to have all that background noise. I want it to be nice and clean. And one of the other things that I'm hoping to be able to play with is then to find a nice background audio track and use some of that APLA stuff that was launched at Alexa Live to be able to layer it behind everything that's happening. But what I don't want is like a bunch of jarring. I don't want a bunch of jarring like audio tracks that sometimes it's this sound effect with this background and sometimes I'd much rather have them just be clean without all the I think that's the one I just hit. Like that's a perfect example, right? Like there's no sound effects behind that.
Audio Jungle.
Oh, I like that too. The Sound Machine
Audio
knob.
Jungle. Audio Jungle.
Okay. Nope.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
Yeah, Jeff Nunn, that's actually a really good point. I think that the murmur of the casino in the background is pretty cool, and I think that there's some really long audio tracks that I could loop as part of that APLA background sound. But I will tell you, I'm a huge baseball fan, if you guys don't know that about me already. And I got to watch baseball this whole week while I was on vacation, and it was very, very weird to hear the crowd audio when there was no crowd. And in fact, Fox took that to a whole nother level. They actually created superimposed audiences in the crowd. And they did it in such an odd way where as you were watching it live, as they would pan around and look at the stands, like just for B-roll kind of footage. Trade Last, yes, I would assume that Audio Jungle track is removed when you buy the official version. It's just like a watermark. So you look around and you just see like they had a bunch of like big cardboard cutout heads of people all over the stands. Yes, Kevin, I definitely saw the big cutout heads in the White Sox game, and the Twins game had them too. Um, but then the Fox game, I think it was the one on Friday night. They they had digitally added fans to the stands, but not all the time. And that's the thing that I thought was kind of weird. Is like if a pitch came in and the player hit the ball to the outfield, so the camera tilts up and it shows the player like under the ball getting ready to catch it, but you can see the stands behind him. Um, there were digital fans there. It was very strange. But then when they showed the replay didn't include those digital fans. So it was very jarring to see it a second time because, of course, they show highlights over and over in baseball. Um, it was so strange, though. I don't understand the point of putting fake fans in the crowd. I understand the audio because it would be a very quiet, weird place otherwise. Um, I don't know. It feels weird to have the like digitized CG fans standing and waving and cheering in the crowd. I think we have such a hard time in society acknowledging the truth. The truth is we're in this crazy pandemic, and JB Nunn, what I'm talking about is not the opportunity for people to buy a cardboard cutout that goes in a seat. This was actually like digital animated people. Trade last. That's uncalled for, man. Cleveland Indians, they're good. They hold the record for the most consecutive sellouts. You're hurting me. Anyway, the digital stuff felt really weird to me. I think that the idea of cutouts and like just acknowledging that we're in this whole COVID thing and like that's how it's going to be, that feels more to me like what they should be doing. The fact that we're trying to synthesize these fake fans in the crowd and do a bunch of this other stuff, that's I don't know, it just feels weird to me, and it costs a lot of money, I'm sure, to get all that stuff set up. Anyway, it was just really bugging me as I was watching it. I didn't understand the purpose because I know that stuff's not easy to set up, and I just don't understand why they would spend the money to do something that clearly looks fake. Oh my gosh, W. Giorgio, I need to go tweak your balance. I think you just lost 900,000 coins with that statement. That's what the chatbot should do, is recognize your sentiment and give you coins based on that. Okay. So, yes, it does seem like locked in. It seems like this might be a good opportunity to look at some sounds. There we go. But I don't. I'm just not ready yet. But I do really like this one. No, I don't. Not that one. This one. You see how clean that is? Like, there's no audio background or anything. That's the thing I need. Oh, those are so nice. I don't need the applause. Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle. There's some good stuff in here. No, not bad for $200 a year. Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle. Oh man, these are fantastic. There's a website I used to use called Sound Rangers. I think this probably still exists. Yeah. Do they have one that's just like... It might be under games and toys. Yeah, casino, poker, and cards, slot machines. Man. Casino game sound effects. Let's see what we've got here. Because these are like $3 a piece, which again, not really something I want to spend a fortune on. Oh, I like these too. I may actually still own these. I wonder if I log in here. I think I may have purchased these for something else I built. Yeah, 2013, 2014. There we go. I've got a couple of them already. Let's download these. These. That was a lot of work. Download zip. And then we go back and do that 2 more times. My goodness. Account. Download sounds. Download order. What was this one? Dice roll. Yeah. Now the reason, Locked In, this is good that you prompted me to do this. I'm glad that I looked into this because these are sounds that I already really liked and I've used in other games. So it's highly likely that these are going to be exactly what I'm looking for instead of having to spend money or lean on your generosity, which I do appreciate. Download. It's a lot of work to download them from here, but I don't know why I have to compile a zip file. Just give me the things. Okay. Now that we've done that, let's take a listen to some of these. No. Yeah. All right. So I think we're in a good place. Let's see what the other ones were. These are dice rolls. That's too many dices. I was building a game that used a lot of dice, and so those were good sounds, but I don't need those for this. I'll have to find other dice rolls for the crap stuff. Hello, tangerines. Yeah, that's nice. Okay, so I have a couple of sound effects, but it looks like we're probably not going to get those in today. But what I will do, Locked In, is I'll dig through the website you've got too, and if there's some that stand out to me as really perfect for what we're doing, then I will. Oh my gosh, W. Giorgio's done it. He's gotten to 1 million. Bet 9,000 and won 45,000 on the slot machine. Goodness, first to 1 million. I should have had a prize for that, but I don't. And we need to take a look at our follower count too. I don't actually know where we're at. I think I got a couple new followers while I was on vacation. $485. We got 15 to go. Yeah, that's a pretty solid Monday, I'd say, Jeff Dunn. Affiliate is always good. Yeah, we got 15 to go. We can do this. We can get 15 more, right? We could do that. All right, so I've totally derailed. So now we need to do review. What was your website? Not that one. This one. And over here. 4 sound effects from locked in us. Okay. Whew, okay. We're not going to get to the APL card reveal, but poker and slots are working, which is good. We're not going to get to roulette today, probably. That feels like a lot of work. Chatsino smile and figure out some not-for-profit for 1% to go to. That would be pretty interesting. We need to figure out a way for it to make money first. But I think once we're there, yeah, I think that would be even more than 1%. Let's do something significant. I mean, the way the channel works right now is any money that this channel makes is being donated to a women in technology scholarship that I helped start a couple years ago, and it would be nice to see more money go to that. But we have to figure out a way to generate money first, which is something we're certainly not doing now. Okay, so one of the other things that I need to figure out is how am I going to do this identity stuff? I feel like I can do the cheap route that I've been talking about, which is just to use some unique IDs out of the database. So if I look at my user table, you can see that everybody has a username except for one, and that one is me. I wonder if there's a way for me to do this. So we look at this value. It ends in 2YHUQ. How can I capture that if I was going to do it? 2YHUQ. The problem we're solving is that this data, the casino data, is it is shared across both the chatbot that you're using right now and the Alexa skill. And what I want to do, without having to set up an entire OAuth service, although that probably will be where I end up, is to have an easy way for you to basically unify your accounts. And so I think the easiest way to do this is to ask. Let's do it this way. If I create a new intent, I thought I had that open before. That's my navigate home, hello world. I don't need the hello world intent. What if we say this is user account intent? And we could say, I'm going to try and keep this out of the voice world because I think the voice makes it so much harder. What is my user ID? How do I join my accounts? Link accounts. How do I link my accounts? We'll just start there. There's way more that needs to go into this, but we'll start with the user account intent. And what I will do for now is just take this and update the dev portal. Intents, JSON editor. Like so. Save. Build. Okay, so what I'm doing here is figuring out how am I going to tell the user what their user ID is. And for now, what I've decided is it's going to be the last 5 or 6 digits of their unique Amazon user ID. It should be enough that I don't run into duplicates, but that, of course, is always a concern. V2YHUQ. I could go with 6. That's a significantly large number. V2YHUQ. So what I need to do is then handle the user account intent. So we'll need in here, no, let's start with our index. We need a user account intent handler. And up here we're going to need something like this. User account intent handler. And this is where we want to check and see, is it a user account intent? And if it is, then this is going to be handlers user account intent. Okay. So then in here, I need to add a user account intent. Probably look a lot like this for the most part. Although I probably won't need a lot of this. We'll have to see. Yeah, we should be able to do this without much help at all, actually. So, okay. Nope. Okay, so this is going to become user account intent. And this goes down here. And then my index needs to have a user account intent. Like so, and then we need this down here. Okay, so I have my user account intent functionality created. Now I just need to actually get it to do something. So we'll call this user account intent. Okay, so the last thing that I need to do here is to actually give them the data that they need, which is let's see, how do I want to do this? In order to link your Alexa account to your Twitch chat account, Twitch account? You will need this 6-digit code. And the 6-digit code is going to be inside handler input. We're going to have to do a handler input dot request envelope. We can probably just find it down here somewhere. I always forget the exact syntax, but it's in this orange piece. Or this yellow piece? Orange piece. Okay, so when I come in here, I have dot session Session.user.userid. Okay. We can do that. .session.user.userid. And what we'll want to do here is wrap it in some SSML, which we still have the reference open for. This is where say as comes in. We can use spell out. Where is the sample? Say as, interpret as, spell out. Just take this part. And right here, like that. And then I can do a close say as right there. Type the command link followed by this code to join your accounts. All right. Let's see what that does. If I say link my accounts.
I order to link your Alexa account to your Twitch chatbot account. You will need this 6-digit code. AMZN.
Oh, no. We don't want to read the whole thing. Type the command link. I need a better way to say that. I need type the command exclamation point link followed by your code to link your accounts. Okay, so what I need to do here is also get the last 6 digits. How do I get the last characters from a string in JavaScript? I think there's like a left and a right command, but I don't know. Tradelast, that is a hard one to follow. I'm reading your question right now. I'm going to read it out loud. Maybe it'll pop in my head, but I think you're right. If I want to conditionally call an intent handler from another intent handler using your handler folder scheme, do I const handler equals require ... / handler from within the calling handler function, like I do const handler require handler single dot from the top level? Then just call handler other function name from within the call. Yes, that should absolutely work. I don't think that I'm doing that right now, but I have done that in other projects, and it should be, well, it's one step further. It's one step further, because you want to also call the handler method on that thing, not just the intent itself. So if I go look at this. See if I can find a handler. What I generally do is I will call back up here to like this handle function. So I would say if I actually want to call, because I need these returns and all this stuff to happen kind of nicely. So the way that I would do this, if I'm in this user account intent, I might, and I want to call something else, I might say, let's just try this, const trade last. And I would say require index. This is how I would do it. And then in here, I should be able to say like return trade last dot. Where are my other intents? Am I doing this wrong? Maybe I can't do it that way. There was a way that I did this once before. How have I done this? Because the main Alexa index file doesn't do a module.export that would push it and make all those functions available. So I think what I do is I end up having the logic here. So if for like, let's say a specific thing happens and I'm in the handle and I realize like, oh, if 1 equals 0 or 9, then I would say, oh, well, in this random other case, I would say return helper, not helper, handler dot launch request handler dot handle, and then I would put the handler input in here because it's going to expect that. So this is kind of the situation that I generally use trade last. Is that I don't actually do it in the handler itself, but I check those conditions here and then make a call to the handle function returning it so that I end up with a nice chain of returns that come back through. I'd almost want to, boy, I'd have to really think about how I'd want to handle this otherwise. It wasn't working well the other way when I was trying to call the handler/handle function from within handler/other handle function. I was getting function not found. Yeah, you're definitely going to have to require this stuff if you want to do it in that nested manner. But I feel like yeah, no, I'm totally with you, but I think the key is that you want to be able to call these handle functions directly because you want the full functionality of that handler. You don't want to, like, once you start diving in and you start looking at, like, what's inside my help intent and calling the functions in there, it becomes, like, you want the help intent to just be this standalone thing that does what it's supposed to do. And I feel like if you start calling into individual modules of that, you end up getting pretty messy pretty fast. So this is the kind of thing that I try to do when I need to punt them to another place. Is like, oh, they haven't done this thing yet? Okay, they need to go over to the launch request, or they need to go here, or whatever. And we're doing that in maybe dev tips? We did that somewhere just recently where I have like, or maybe, no, it wasn't the chatbot. Maybe it was the chatbot. But that doesn't have these handler situations. So hopefully that helps, but the key for me is trying to call directly to these handle functions. And I find that I can generally check for some condition here inside a handle function to call one of the other handle functions. That way you have access to all of them here. But if you are already deep into a handler and you realize at that point that, they don't have this thing or they need this information, I can see how that might become an issue for you. Okay, let's get rid of the stuff that I just wrote. We don't need that. Okay. So in order to link your Alexa account to your Twitch chatbot account, you will need this 6-digit code. And this is where we need to go substring on here. So we need to do user ID .substr. And I really thought that there was a way. Feel free to use trade last as a constant. I'll find a way to mix that in. Maybe as we're I don't know, we'll have to come up with some game where you trade things and whoever goes last. I don't know. I'll figure out a way to make it happen. Okay, so we have our user account intent, and I want to be able. I feel like there's another way for me to do this that's easier. I don't want to have to do this whole thing. I guess I can. Okay, fine. I'll do it. So const user ID is going to be this whole thing. Okay. So we have our user ID there, and then I can say user ID dot substring user ID dot length -5 -6 -7 -7. All right, let's give that a try and see what we get this time. Link my accounts.
In order to link your Alexa account to your Twitch chatbot account, you will need this 6-digit code, YV2YHUQ. Type the command, !link, followed by your code to link your accounts. What would you like to do?
So I think 6 is right. Ba-ba-ba, ba-ba-ba. Just so it's an easy pattern in your head. Let's try that again. Link my accounts.
In order to link your Alexa account to your Twitch chatbot account, you will need this 6-digit code, V2YHUQ. Type the command, !link, followed by your code to link your accounts. What would you like to do?
Maybe I'll just say it twice. Let's take that. X. And then this just becomes user ID. And then I can do the same thing somewhere else. I also want to kind of break it up. There's a way to like push and pop on a string, right? Insert a character into a string in JavaScript. Insert a string at a specific index. That is wonderful. Nope, no polyfills. I don't need any of that. There's an easier way. I could do that. That is a way. Okay, yeah, we'll use that. We'll use that. So the last thing that I want to do, so we're gonna have to make this a var. And what that should do is give me a nice space between them. So it's like, I'm going for like an audible pattern, right? Ba ba ba, ba ba ba. So when you hear those two sets of characters, it's easier to remember. Followed by your code. User ID. Okay, let's see how that sounds. It's amazing how much you just need to think about how much something sounds, or what something sounds like.
In order to link your Alexa account to your Twitch chatbot account, you will need this 6-digit code, V2Y space HUQ. Type the command, !link, followed by your code, V2Y hook, to link your accounts. What would you like to do?
Okay. So we needed this whole thing. So instead of putting it in there twice, I'm going to take it out and just make it once. Let's do it this way. It's not necessary. What I'm trying to do is create an audible pattern that it's very easy to hear and remember. If you give someone 6 characters, it can be very difficult sometimes to mentally commit that because you have to remember it. But if you give them 2 sets of 3, then it works very well. It's the same way that if I tell you my number is 3275066, it's hard sometimes to remember those 7 digits. But if I say my phone number is 3275066, that is a pattern and a cadence that you're very comfortable and familiar with, and it breaks it into 2 chunks that you can play out that rhythm in your head and remember it much easier. So that is why that's why I'm doing it that way. So we're going to do a little bit of user ID slice. And then what I'm going to do, I think I can do this here, is we're going to do a break time equals 0.5 seconds. And then another one of these, like so, and then one of those. And then we can get rid of it right here. That goes here. And now they should be the same. And I'm saying it twice so you really get that rhythm.
In order to link your Alexa account to your Twitch chatbot account, you will need this 6-digit code, V2Y HUQ. Type the command, !link, followed by your code, V2Y HUQ, to link your accounts. What would you like to do?
That sounds so good. Okay, so the break is too long. Let's try a 1/4 second instead.
In order to link your Alexa account to your Twitch chatbot account, you will need this 6-digit code, V2Y HUQ. Type the command, !link, followed by your code, V2Y HUQ, to link your accounts. What would you like to do?
So what I'm doing here is the same thing that you hear all the time on talk radio commercials. When they're like, hey, having trouble with your mortgage or your debt? We can help you consolidate. Call this number. And then they say the number with the same cadence every time, like 9 times during the commercial. And it's so that even if you weren't paying a ton of attention, that rhythm and that beat sticks in your head. And before you know it, you realize I can call 1-800-MORTGAGE pretty easily. Yeah, Jeff, I wonder about that too. The problem is that these are directly from the user's user ID in the Alexa skill. That's the unique identifier that I'm using for them. And I don't know how I would get that. Like I need them to have that unique identifier, which of course I could translate or modify or do whatever, but I feel like anytime there's a double set of numbers or triple, they say double or triple. So 344777 is said 3447777. Yeah, I'm with you, Locked In. Actually, it's very interesting to me. And this is only my own personal observation, but it does seem to me many times that Australia is one of the most creative English speaking countries when it comes to how they use their language. They turn a lot of words that are perfectly fine on their own. They turn a lot of those words into almost like children's words. I don't know if that's the right way to go. And I think sometimes it's hard for outsiders to understand, but it is shorter and maybe it is laziness. It could be. But like a good example is when you walk around and you see breakfast places open, they don't. None of them say breakfast. All of the signs and advertisements and everything, they all say brekkie, Brekkie. Um, and I mean, I understood what they meant, being an American in Australia, because it was showing breakfast food, and brekkie certainly sounds a little bit like breakfast food. But I see that kind of abbreviation, that taking the word breakfast and turning it into brekkie, is something that I see all over the place in Australia for all sorts of kinds of things. Um, Allison Atwell's stream, where she spends a lot of time tweaking the voice output until it's still until it's just right. Yeah, she's a wizard with that stuff. I really enjoy Allison's content, and I've been following her. If you guys don't know this, she basically has, like, I don't want to call it a tiny house because I don't think that she's committing to calling it a tiny house, but she basically loaded up a trailer and she's out living in the wilderness, cooking on a stove off of her trailer, and um, it's she is living a far greater adventure than I am. I love like camping and outdoors and all that kind of stuff, and I think I think the fact that she's single makes it easier. But being able to go out in the woods and just live there for a week or 10 days, someplace where you can still get a cell phone signal, man, that sounds super cool. And just by herself too. It's her and her dog. It's so fun to watch. Okay, so we have something here. We have link my accounts, and we get our little code.
In order to link your Alexa account to your Twitch chatbot account, you will need the 6-digit code, V2Y, HUQ. Type the command, !link, followed by your code, V2Y, HUQ, to link your accounts.
Okay, we're gonna
What
try.
would you like to do?
We're gonna try and do something else here too. I wish that with the say as I could say, like, man, give me a little more time between each letter. I don't think you can do that, but it would be really nice if you could. My other option is to insert breaks between each letter, because it's always going to be 6. So I could hard code a little bit of this stuff. I don't really want to, but I could. For what time? What are we? Did I miss a conversation about time? For epoch time? How do I want to do this? I really would like to put a break between each letter. Ba 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 ba. And she's doing like ba 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 ba. Too fast, too fast. Think. How do we want to do this? Let's do this. And then let's do a little loopy, because we know we're going to have 6 digits every time. For var I equals 0, I is less than user ID dot length I plus plus, and then we're going to say here user ID equals I plus 1, also need a break in there. Let's see. To connect the accounts, when requested or created, that should be a unique value too for all users. I'm just thinking how banks give you that confirmation number for logging in. Oh, like a 6-digit code that you would get on your phone, yeah. Yeah, it would be fine to do that. The thing that I'm struggling with, call me Roby, nice win. The thing that challenges me here, Locked In, is that I have this really nice unique identifier for a user. And a combination of 6 slots that contain the entire alphabet plus. Ooh, I wonder if that would. Do it. Just slapping prosody on it. I feel like she pronounces letters differently when we go like prosody slow. I think it's a good idea, Trade Last. I just wonder if I couldn't do it like this, where we do like 0.1 seconds, right? Or like a really short break. If I equals 2, user ID plus equals, we didn't do a plus equals here. We'll do another break. This will be the middle break, adding a little more time to it. And then at the end, I need a user ID plus equals, say as. Let's see what that gets us. I could have just destroyed everything, but we'll see. It appears I destroyed everything. What did I do wrong?
The requested skill did not provide a valid response.
I know what I did. I know what I did. User ID speech. Do you guys see what I did?
Sorry, Guest Connect is not supported on this device.
I think we're okay now. We'll see. Maybe. Did I crash the service? It is feeling
The requested skill did not provide a valid response.
It's feeling like I crashed the service, but I don't see the service crashed. That was at 22? Yeah, that was like 2 minutes ago. Wish I could figure out why that fails. Alright, so have everything else saved. Okay, let's just... Okay, npm run dev. Okay, that's good. And then back to our browser for this.
Welcome to the Chatsino. What would you like to do?
Link my accounts.
In order to link your Alexa account to your Twitch chatbot account, you will need the 6-digit code V2YHUQ. Type the command !link followed by your code V2YHUQ to link your accounts. What would you like to do?
Okay, so that's good. We've got that part working, right, where we provide the user with their code, and then it's just a matter of modifying the chatbot to be able to catch that code and use it. Yeah, I had no idea how subtle you could get with the fractions of a second trade last. Idea bank, we could engage the bot in whispers. Locked in, this is something that I have already actually worked on a little bit. So you can do that if I come in here. And let's see if we can find... I don't know why they're not showing me anybody here today. But if I go to Chatsino and I try to quick whisper, I can say poker 5, right? And I can pass that message in as a whisper. The problem is that I haven't effectively been able to use TMI, the JavaScript library that I'm using to communicate with Twitch chat. It doesn't let me do that, and I can show you guys kind of what I've tried to do here, but this is just a something that I'm going to have to spend some time on at some point. Let me show you what that code looks like. So if we go to GitHub here and we look at Chatsino bot and we look at index, down here, one of the things that I wanted to do like this one, like this whole identity thing, right? I'm supposed to be able to do that, and it should reply to you only as a whisper. The problem is that it just doesn't do anything, and so I don't know if it's a permissions issue. It's not giving me anything. It's just not happening. But I need to dig into this deeper and figure out exactly what I can do to make that happen. I can't preface the messages with like a /w like I can here, right? So if I do /w and then I say trade last, and I say hi, it will send trade last a hi message in whisper mode, but I can't do that as a bot. And so there are lots of situations in which I want to whisper to a user. I just haven't figured out how to do it yet. So it's something we're going to have to spend some time on for sure. I just haven't done it yet. So trade last wrote me back. Yo. Okay. So yeah, so there we go. Oh, someone wants me to hydrate? Awesome. I would love to have some water. Thank you, Call Me Roby. Water is so good. Okay, it's 11:30. What can we still get done? Let's close this. We don't want to focus on that right now. We don't need this right now. We don't need this right now. We kind of got this piece done, and I don't think we even added this to the to-do list. So we need to, let's add a new section here. Provide a user with the last 6 digits of their Alexa skill user ID. Gold Zulu, welcome back, man. I'm here. I survived. Then I also need a. This one kind of goes on the chatbot, but modify chatbot to catch a link command with the user's user ID. And then finally, select the account with the highest balance and delete the other one, including ledger and wager data. Okay. I don't know if that's what I should do, but that's what I'm going to say for now. Okay, so we can do this one. This is done. Locked in, making his way, 333,000. So what else can we do right now in the next 28 minutes? That's kind of some low-hanging fruit stuff. Let's take a look. These are things that work. Bet 5 on poker, bet 5 on slots. Say that again, this should work.
In order to link your Alexa account to your Twitch chatbot account, you will need the 6-digit code V2YHUQ. Type the command !link followed by your code V2YHUQ to link your accounts. What would you like to do?
I love it. I love it locked in. Got a good brain on you. User analytics. You've played slots 89% of the time. I am back, Brendan. I am back. Your cement walls were not enough for me. I was able to escape. And I'm here. And you can't stop me. I am inevitable. Isn't that what they say? Let's see. How can we do this? Maybe we could just do this on the launch request. This might be kind of cool. It would be cooler if I had a roll-up data value that I could just use. So if I look at my user table, I have a bunch of information here. Right, so as I look at an individual user, I can see they've lost 295 on poker, they've won 400 on roulette, they've lost 7,000 on slots, they've given away 9,624. Right, I can see all these, and these are all roll-up values out of other tables. But I wonder if... Yeah, look at that. Gold Zulu is our leader. I think that... no, I'm sorry. Not Gold Zulu. W. Giorgio. W. Giorgio's made most of his money on slots. 945,000 is made on slots. That's a lot. Locked in is in second place. Gold Zulu, who I mentioned, is way down here somewhere. It's actually easier to check it this way. Oh, that doesn't work? What if I just do leaderboard? I feel like they're... Is it standings? That's interesting. I do say there's a leaderboard command. I thought I built one. That's not something I really want to fix right now, though. So if we think about this thing that Locked In just gave us, how could we do this quickly? I have your historic total. I have these individual amounts. What I guess I could do is maybe roll up like the number of games you've played. Let's do that. If I do insert left, I call this poker games. I think I can do, can I do a roll up? Probably not, maybe. Choose fields in this table. I want to do ledger. I need a formula which rolls up the values in each linked record. Oh, that actually might do it. What if I just hit save? Oh, well, that doesn't seem accurate. What do I actually want this to be? Count. Table formula, field reference. I feel like count only counts numeric values. Count the number of numeric items. Count A is what I want. Okay, see, I was right. I like it when I'm right. Count A. I don't know why it's count A, but I'll take it. Save it. Invalid formula. Please check your formula. Oh, because it did that for me. Oh, yeah. So look at that. So now we can see their total poker games. Who's played the most poker games? Yeah, I'll add it to the to-do, but that is something that's very much on my mind, Trade Last. On stream lights and browser sources for big wins. What's a big win? Okay. So now I would have this data, right? Now I could say their poker games are 349, the roulette games are whatever. Well, let's just add these values in here. We'll just add these columns. Insert left. Roulette games. We're going to do a roll up again. Choose a field. We're going to choose ledger. We're going to choose game type. And we're going to say count A. Progressive slot machine. Yeah, that's another good one. Okay, so I have... That seems weird to me, though, doesn't it? They shouldn't be the same numbers. Because I need to add one condition to this, which is only include records where game type is poker. Let's see what that does. Nice. Okay, so then roulette games, this one needs to be where game type is roulette. Save that. Okay. And then we need to do a slots one. And this will be slots games. Roll up, field, ledger. Choose a field. Game type. Where game type contains slots. Count A. Save. All right. So now we have those values. It wouldn't be very hard for us to then use this data to be able to say, I could just compare the three numbers. Locked in with another 25,000. Let's see. It looks like Brendonius lost 10. Man, sounds like you're not very good at slots. Okay, so we have these poker games, roulette games, and slot games values now. These will automatically funnel through our entire skill, so we should be able to do, just in the launch request, we could probably just add this as some cool information. So if... I don't even have the session stuff in here, so we'll have to do that first. So let's start with our session variables, which we could get in pretty much any other intent that we have. Looks like this. And come back to our launch request. So let's do that first. Okay, so now I have my session attributes. So if session, session attributes dot user dot fields dot slots games how do we want to do this? Do I want to do it every time? Tell them what their most... I definitely don't want to do this every time. I want to do it when they have one of their games that's more than 50%. So if I come back here and I look at... No, can I just please scroll my column? How do I want to best handle this? I guess I could just do another roll-up that is total games. And this will be the one without the condition. Choose a field, ledger. Game type. Where game type is poker, or game type, game type is, or game type is slots. Let's just check our math here. 298. So I'm saying that 126 and 166, that's 174, 194, no, 294. Poker, roulette, and slots should add up to be, no, that's right. 6 and 6 is 2, so this would be 292 plus 6 is 298. So we are actually calculating that properly, and so now I have a thing called total games. So now I should be able to say, if slots games divided by total games is greater than 0.5, I like it. Thank you, Locked In. It has been 32 days since you've played slots. Time for a spin. Awesome, that's a good one. Okay, so in our launch request, we should now be able to say if their slots play is more than 50% of their total games, then we want to have some additional speech. So we'll have to have some variable here that is var game speech. Then we'll say way out here, game speech equals you have played slots %. Const slots %. So make this a little more readable too. Slots % times 100 of the time. You should give poker or roulette a try today. Okay, and then we can do pretty much the same thing for all of them. So this is slots %. This is going to be poker. This will be roulette. And so we'll only do this if their speech is over, if one specific game is over 50%. If they've got a nice balance, we're not going to say anything. You should give, this is slots or roulette, and this should be poker or slots. And of course we will definitely. Gold Zulu with the triple oranges. Nice work. Yeah, those are oranges. Although Alexa thinks they're tangerines. I fixed that before you got here today. But so now let's take a look at what my current situation is for data. So game speech would be tacked on right here. Game speech. And it exists or doesn't exist depending on the situation. I like that. All right, so let's give our skill a try and see what we get. So I'm gonna say quit because I want to. This is the launch request. So okay, I've quit. Open the Chatsino.
Jeff, there was an error.
An error?
What should we do now?
I don't write errors. I don't remember purposely writing any errors. Do you guys remember that? The error was cannot read slots games of undefined. Okay, I didn't check this, but I should have checked this. So when I do my thing here, oh, see, I already did the fields. Okay, that's an easy fix. Easy fix. We just got to get rid of the fields. I think that's all it was. Okay. Let's try it again. Quit. Open Chatsino.
Welcome to the Chatsino. You have played slots 40% of the time. You should give slots or roulette a try today. What would you like to do?
I'm sorry, what? Why would you do it for 40%? That's impossible. If slots percent is greater than 0.5, all right, let's do it this way. Parse int we'll do all of our multiplication here. And then in here I can just say the number. Oh, that might have also been the issue. Yeah, that might actually be the issue. Is that I didn't change my values here. So it might actually be working exactly as expected. I just told the wrong number to be spoken. So this one needs to be poker. And this one needs to be roulette. Hey Justin, good morning, man. I'm definitely not kidnapped. Last week was a blur. I may have been kidnapped. I don't actually know. So now this needs to be 49. That's what I should have done anyway. 49. Greater than 49. Okay, let's see what happens this time. Open the Chatsino.
Welcome to the Chatsino. You have played slots 59% of the time. You should give slots or roulette a try today. What would you like to do?
Okay, we're getting close. You've played slots. You've played poker. You've played roulette. Quit. Open.
Welcome to the Chatsino. You have played poker 59% of the time. You should give slots or roulette a try today. What would you like to do?
Let's play some slots, I guess.
You won 15 coins in slots with 1 cherry. Your new balance is 279 coins. Your spin was cherries, bell, orange. What do you want to play next?
So good. I'm so happy with how this is turning out. Okay, so there's one other thing I wanted to add to my to-do for poker.
poker. Yeah. This is going to be tricky. I'm not sure how exactly I'm going to do this. When a user gets 3 of a kind, 2 pair, or full house, tell them what they got. Like, you won with a pair of 4s. That's actually going to be hard, but we'll figure it out. Because of the way that I'm trying to keep the casino separate from the speech logic, the Alexa skill should manage and handle all of the speech that's coming to the user. The Chatsino logic should only tell me the data about the outcome, and then I write speech based on that outcome. And so when I pass things back, all I do is tell you that you got a pair. So I'm actually going to have to modify the entire object that I create to send back that talks about, hey, you got a pair, or hey, you got 3 of a kind. Now I need to add some kind of conditional modifier on that object that says, oh, they got a pair, and it's a pair of 6s. Or in the case of a full house, right? That's even trickier, because now it's not 1 value, it's 2 values. Now they got a full house with 6s and 8s, or whatever. Okay. So Justin Jeffers, maybe you can answer this question for me while you're here. I have this unique situation, and I know that I have options, but I'm curious how you would approach this problem. So I have a intent that looks like this. Kind of. It's called a start game intent. And I have 3 slots. I have game, I have wager, and I have position. For most of the games that you're going to play in the casino, you only need a game and a wager. So like bet 5 on poker or bet 5 on slots. But for roulette, I need your position also, right? You need to be able to say bet 5 on red. And now the question I have is, the skill is doing a really good job of using dialogue management to handle this for me. So if I say play poker, for example, you can see that it's going to say,
how much do you want to bet?
How much do you want to bet? And I say 200.
You won 200 coins in poker with a pair. Your new balance is 480 coins. Your cards were the king of hearts, king of club.
I'll let that go. So that works really well. I'm using dialogue management to identify when a bet has not been provided. The problem I have is that if they say they want to play roulette, I want position to be a required dialogue management value as well. And I don't think that I can do that, at least not in the structure that I'm using. I could build a separate intent that's just for roulette. That would solve my problem. I could just build some logic into my code that says, oh, they're trying to play roulette and they haven't provided a position, and then build my own kind of dialogue management piece just for that. But I was wondering if there's a way to conditionally include requiring a slot only when other slot values match specific values. As I say that out loud, I'm almost positive that's not the case, but I thought if anyone knows, Justin might, so that is why I'm asking. Oh, it's 11:59 too. My goodness, we are right at the end. So let's go back to our to-do list and make sure that we check anything that we have done. User analytics, we've started with this. We can at least check that one off. I don't have that. Progressive slot, bet and position. Yeah, I think that's all we've got for now. But we made some good progress today, and I got back into the coding chair. I haven't been here in since last Wednesday, so like 10 days it's been, and I have missed this desperately. So I'm so glad that you guys were here. I'm so glad you were able to join me today, and I will be back here on Wednesday to do more of this kind of stuff. So tell your friends. We're still 15 followers away from an episode dressed as an X-Wing pilot, and I'm really looking forward to that. And I have a bunch of other stuff. Taking a week off really gave me an opportunity to think. You may notice that I've added like a new sidebar, kind of over here on the top right. And so I'm thinking about reinventing the look and feel of the stream here as well. So if you guys have ideas or things you'd like to see, please let me know. Will there be office hours tomorrow overlapping with the tech office hours? I don't know. Let's go look at the channel and see what they have scheduled. I'm really getting back into it as soon as I get off this call. I'm gonna, no, or not off this call, but off this stream, I will know more. But let's go see what the schedule says. Maybe. Schedule. Oh, I like that I can hear myself the whole time. That's great. I like that I can hear myself. Okay. Tuesday. That's very interesting. I don't actually know how we're going to handle that. So, Alexa Live, technical office hours. I see that right here for conversations and accuracy. It looks like they stepped on our normal office hours. So what I will probably do is I'll come on and do office hours. I'll talk with our team, but I will get it on the calendar here so that it's clearer, because we don't want to just skip normal office hours. But if you guys have specific questions about specific Alexa Live subjects, definitely go to the specific Alexa Live office hours. All right. Well, yeah, I'll have to check that, and we'll update the schedule, so we will know more tomorrow morning at the latest. All right. Thank you guys all for tuning in. I will see you all again on Wednesday, but certainly keep it going, and we'll continue to have some fun here.